Namaste, beautiful yogis. Today's class is just a 20-minute strong fluid vinyasa sequence. Let's get started. Coming at the front edge of our mats, feet pointing directly forward, lifting the arches of the feet. Let's lift the heels off the floor, coming onto the tippy toes, hands reaching over the head. Lifting, pull the belly in. And take chair pose, sitting back, pressing the hips back, pulling the belly in, lifting the toes off the floor. And let's bring the left arm or the left elbow on the outside of the right knee, twisting back to center, switching sides, back to center. And one more time. Left elbow, right knee, back to center, right elbow, left knee. Keep the chest open, back to center, inhale. Hands on the floor, hugging the knees into the chest, lifting the heels off the floor, jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, rolling the shoulders back and down, extending the tailbone down, rocking in upward facing dog, side to side. The hips are rocking, lifting the toes off the floor. And let's come back to upward facing dog and look over the right shoulder, look over the left shoulder. Back to center, second chaturanga, exhale, downward facing dog. Either stay steady here or walk in place. Inhale, the right leg up, step the right foot between your hands, come up, high lunge. Clasp your hands and reach over to your right. Stretch through both obliques here. Back to center, and let's take plie and turn towards the back of your room. High lunge, leading with the left knee. Hands clasping, slight tuck in the tailbone. Press the back heel away from you. And again, twist into plie, twisting the feet or spinning on the feet. And turn towards the front of your room. Left hand on the floor, spin the right arm up. Hands stretching away from each other and come up to standing in high lunge, walking the right hand down the left leg, lifting through the fingertips on the left side. Exhale, both hands on the floor and jump to switch your legs. Twisting, keep the right hand on the floor, left arm up. Open the chest. Keep the back heel straight up and keep pressing it away from you. Come up to standing. Reaching up with your right hand, twisting. Left hand walks down the right leg. Soften your exhalation. Bring both hands on the floor. Jump to switch your legs. Come up. High lunge. Exhale, hands on the floor. Jump and switch legs. Come up. High lunge. Breathe. Hands down. Jump, switching legs. Come up. High lunge. Exhale, down. Jump. Come up. High lunge. Exhale, down. Jump and switch the legs. Come up. High lunge. Exhale. Switch. Inhale. Come up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale down. Inhale. Lift. Exhale down. And you can step the feet in plank. Good job. Next is one-legged push-ups with a knee tuck. Bringing the knee into your elbow. We'll do 10 of those. And let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I do the one extra so you can have the time to stay with me. And let's come down onto our belly and lift your chest off the floor, going into a mild back bend. The knees are bent, feet are up towards the head, and release. One more time. Inhale, come up, and just walk a little further or deepen the back bend a little. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes up, step the right foot between your hands and come up, warrior 2. Sink deeper. And we're gonna bring the right hand down and go into a reverse warrior. And again, windmill the hands back and forth. Here you're gonna keep your legs really steady, so the legs are not moving, you're just moving your upper body, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Continue with this windmill action and release the right hand on the inside of your right foot. Side angle. Inhale, come up, straighten the legs, plie squat. Hands are reaching out. Turn towards the back of the room, warrior 2. Prepare to windmill the hands again. Move slowly, deliberate movement. Continue with the windmill movement, keeping the legs really steady here, moving the upper body only, using your core. Release your left hand on the inside of the left foot, side angle, creating a long line from the foot all the way to the fingertips, opening the right hip here. Come up, and let's take plie. Feet are pointed out. We're gonna do small hops here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great. Face the front of your room. Feet are aligning for triangle pose. Reach way ahead of you and lower the right hand by your right foot. Twist, spin open that left hip. Both sides of the torso are equally long here. We're not curving the upper body. Reach over your head. Exhale, hands on the floor, walk them to the back of your room. And let's take triangle pose. On this side, left leg leading. Open the right hip. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Lift the arches of your feet. You should feel this pose in every part of your body pretty much. And release both hands on the floor, wide-legged forward bend. And let's walk the hands to the back of the room. step back in plank, and we're gonna continue with the one-legged knee tuck push-ups. You can do those from your knees if they're too difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And let's continue with, this is just a demonstration, a wave-like movement. Here we're moving the spine from back, from downward facing dog all the way into upward facing dog in a wave-like movement. Move with your breath. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, back in downward dog. Inhale, open. Exhale, back. And release onto your belly. And deepen that back bend here slightly. Walking the head back towards the feet. Exhale. Downward facing dog, and let's take the left foot forward. Come into a low lunge. And reach back. Grab your right ankle. Stretching the quadriceps here. Either stay here or you can go into King's Pigeon pose, going into a full back bend. Release the hands on the floor. And here, instead of holding a steady stretch, you can draw circles or half circles with your hands, bringing the movement into your hip, feeling your hip. And let's come back into wide-legged forward bend. Face the front of your room. Lower the left knee on the floor. Low lunge, reach back. And grab your left ankle here. Either hold here or prepare for King's Pigeon pose. And release the hands on the inside of the right foot, drawing a few circular movements with your hands here, feeling that right hip. Moving consciously, bringing the movement into the hip. And step it back. Plank. Press the heels away from you, hold your plank. Side plank, right hand on the floor. Side plank with your three pose variation. Left foot into the right inner thigh. Plank, hold the tree, push up, switch sides. Left hand on the floor, keep the tree pose. And step it back, switch legs. Right foot into the left inner thigh. Side plank. Keep your hips lifted. Shoulders down, reach over your head. Push up. Tree pose, push up. And over to the opposite side. Side plank with the tree pose, keeping the knee off the floor. And step it back. Now we're gonna cross the legs, right leg over the left, and walk your hand to the back of your mat, holding a forward bend here. Breathe into your hamstrings, hips, wherever you feel the stretch. Walk your hands over to your right and left and back to the front of the room. Bend your left knee, push up, come up, and now switch. Left foot in front of the right, cross your feet, walk your hands to the back of your mat, forward bend. You can walk your hands towards the front one more time, bending the right knee, push up, step your feet down, plank. Chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, chaturanga, exhale, downward facing dog. And let's take the right foot between the hands, come up, warrior two. Inhale, windmill the hands back, reversing the warrior, walking the left hand down the left leg. Keep the shoulders down, keep your legs steady, warrior two. Exhale, both hands on the floor. Take a little handstand hop back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Chaturanga, exhale, downward facing dog. Take the left leg forward, come up, warrior two. Walk the right hand down the right leg, reversing the warrior. Relax your shoulder and reach through the fingertips on the left side. Keep the left knee bent. Coming out of this, windmill the hands all the way onto the floor. Take a little hop into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, lifting the left leg off the floor, lifting the right leg off the floor. Tailbone is tucking under. And you can open the knees out and sit back, child's pose. Inhale, come up onto your knees. Knees are hip width apart. Calves are parallel to each other. Hands on the lower back. Camel pose. Press the hips forward. Lift your lower back away from your fingertips. Create space in the lower back here. Lift through your heart. Try to lift up through the heart as if your heart is trying to touch the ceiling. You can release your hands on the floor, press your hips forward. Hips are still over the knees. You can bring your hands over your heart slowly. Come out of this. Feet or big toes together. Open the knees out and lower down. Chest over the floor. Great, let's come into seated. Bring your legs in front of you. Flex your feet. Inhale your hands over your head and exhale forward bend. Paschimottanasana. Keeping the back straight. You can lower down a little deeper into this stretch. Breathe into the hamstrings. Keep flexing your feet. Even if your hamstrings are not very flexible, make sure to engage your feet and pull the toes back in towards you so that we are stretching the calves as well. Inhale, come up. And lower down onto your elbows, bringing the forearms behind you. Lifting the body off the floor, point your toes. Lifting the booty, lower back, legs off the floor. Lift your hips as high as you can here and hold. And release. And let's lift the legs up. You can keep them bent in the knees. Hands together, reaching side to side. Belly is in, lower back. Curve is still there. Chest open. And release. Hug your legs in. Bring your legs closer to your chest. Forward bend. Great, and from here we're going to bring the hands on the floor and step back in downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide open. Inhale the right leg up. Spin the right hip on top of the left hip. Bend your knee. Come into a side plank. Keep your right foot behind you. See if you can grab it. Either stay in side plank or go into a back bend. Wild thing, holding your ankle. It's a great challenge for our balance. And release. Back to one-legged downward facing dog. And you can hop. Switch legs. Bend your knee. Drop the foot behind you. Either stay in side plank, grab your ankle, or transition into wild thing, holding your ankle. Open the chest. Tuck your tailbone under. And release back into one-legged downward facing dog. You can take a hop or two here. Feet together and take a few more hops with the feet out. All the way, jumping into chair pose. And let's come into a full squat. Grab your big toes and straighten your legs and roll back into plow pose. Bring your hands on your lower back, shoulders stand. And here you can move your legs or hold a steady shoulder stand. Spread your toes open. Slowly coming out of this. Hands on the floor. And prepare for a few more jumps on each side. Into one-legged handstands. And I had to run. That was literally the end of my practice. I grabbed my mat and was out the door. But if you feel like it, and if you have time for it, go into your Shavasana and take a moment to just lay and be present. Namaste.